Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, what we've been hearing behind the scenes from NFL sources is nothing short of explosive. There's a real buzz, about a potential blockbuster trade involving none other than Ja'Marr Chase, the elite wide receiver from the Cincinnati Bengals and the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, you heard that right. The Falcons are apparently on the verge of pulling off a move that could reshape their entire offense, and consequently, their entire season. And let me tell you, this is the kind of move that could redefine the Falcons' trajectory, especially in a season where they're desperately looking to turn things around after a shaky start. The whispers suggest that Atlanta is willing to send a second-round pick in 2026 to the Bengals in exchange for Chase. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is this really happening? Can the Falcons pull off such a bold move? Well, with the NFL trade deadline looming on November 4th, all signs point to this being a real possibility. The NFL insiders like Adam Schefter and others have been confirming the buzz, and the details are starting to come into focus. It's a high-stakes gamble, but one that could pay off big time. Let's take a moment to understand why Chase is such a game-changer. At just 25 years old, he's a mismatch nightmare for defenses, reminiscent of prime Antonio Brown in his explosive yards-after-catch ability. Over the 2025 season, he played just 8 games but racked up 52 receptions for an incredible 748 yards, averaging 4 yards per catch with 6 touchdowns. His catch rate was an impressive 68.4%, and he averaged 93.5 yards per game. His PFF grade for 2025 was a stellar 92, and he's known for his EPA per target of plus 0.52, which is superb for a receiver. His yards after catch, or YAC, averaged 6.8 yards per reception, and he converted 62% of contested catches, showing he's not afraid to go up against defenders in tight coverage. And folks, he's coming off a minor shoulder injury in Week 4, but that doesn't diminish his overall explosiveness or his ability to make an immediate impact. His career stats speak volumes: over 500 receiving yards and 35 touchdowns with a career PFF grade of 89. 1 overall. Chase excels in high-leverage situations, with a success rate of 72% against press coverage and a yards per route run of 4.5. His ability to win fade routes and make contested catches makes him a nightmare for defenses, especially when he's used in creative ways. But why are the Bengals even considering trading Chase? Well, it's complicated. Cincinnati is currently sitting at 4-4, and there are some underlying issues. Their defense has been leaking points, allowing 24 points per game, which is well above the elite standards they set in previous seasons. Their cap space is limited, only about $9.5 million, and they're prioritizing protecting their investment in quarterback Joe Burrow, who recently signed a massive $275 million extension. The Bengals are also trying to rebuild their offensive line, which has struggled at times and has a PFF grade of just 72.1. Losing Chase would be a blow, no doubt, but the team seems to be weighing the immediate benefits of freeing up cap space and possibly preparing for a rebuild with younger players. On the other hand, the Falcons are in a different position. Sitting at 3-4 in the NFC South with about $6 million in cap space, they're dealing with some injury issues at wide receiver. Drake London, their primary target, went on injured reserve in Week 6 with a quadriceps injury, and Velus Jones Jr. is out indefinitely after suffering a posterior injury. This creates a significant void in their passing game, especially deep routes, which are crucial for quarterback Michael Penix Jr., who's still adjusting but has shown flashes of potential. Penix's rookie PFF grade of 79. 4 indicates he's got room to grow, but he needs more weapons, more explosiveness downfield, and Chase could be that X factor that elevates his game to the next level. Imagine the impact of Chase joining Atlanta. This isn't just about adding another receiver. It's about transforming the entire offensive identity. Chase's ability to stretch the field, to turn short completions into explosive gains, would open up the entire playbook. With London and Mooney potentially returning from injury, the Falcons could field a dynamic trio, London, Mooney, and Chase, that defenses simply can't cover all at once. Chase's presence on the field would force defenses to dedicate extra attention, creating mismatches for the likes of Robinson, who's been a solid contributor with a PFF grade of 88. Robinson's running game would benefit immensely from the additional space and attention Chase would draw, leading to a more balanced and unpredictable offense. Let's talk about what this could mean for the Falcons' offensive efficiency. Currently, Penix Jr. is averaging just 20 points per game, which is below the standard needed to contend at the highest level. Bringing in Chase could bump that number up to around 28 points per game, thanks to the deep threat and the yards after catch Chase consistently provides. His projected impact includes an increase of around 200 yards in total offense, a plus 25% boost in EPA on deep throws, and an additional 350 yards after the catch. This would give Atlanta a much more potent aerial attack, forcing defenses to respect the deep ball and opening lanes for Robinson and other playmakers. Statistically speaking, Chase's addition could elevate Atlanta's offense from a middling unit to one of the most explosive in the league. His red zone efficiency, currently at 65%, could improve with better route running and chemistry with Penix. Deep targets, passes thrown 20 yards or more, have a 42% completion rate, but with Chase's ability to make contested catches and track the ball downfield, that percentage could easily rise, making the Falcons' offense more multidimensional. The potential for big plays is immense. And for a team that has struggled to consistently put points on the board, this kind of upgrade is exactly what they need to make a push into the playoffs and beyond. Now, let's consider the ripple effects. The Falcons' defense, which currently allows around 25 points per game, would benefit from having a more sustained offensive presence. Longer drives with Chase making big plays would keep the defense rested and fresh, especially in late-game situations. The mental aspect of the game changes. Opposing defenses now have to account for Chase's deep threats, which could open up more opportunities for the Falcons' pass rush and secondary. The overall team dynamics would shift, making Atlanta a more complete and dangerous squad. Looking ahead to the playoffs, the stakes get even higher. The odds of winning Super Bowl LXI have already shifted with this potential move, from plus 6,000 to plus 2,500, indicating that sportsbooks see this as a real game changer. Chase's presence could turn Atlanta into a dark horse contender, especially if they can secure a playoff spot and face teams with weaker secondaries. His history of making an immediate impact in big games, like his explosive performances in Week 5, where he racked up 128 yards, underscores his ability to elevate the entire team when needed most. And of course, there's a division rivalry element here. The NFC South has been wide open, with the Saints, Panthers, and Bucs all vying for supremacy. If the Falcons manage to add Chase and improve their offense significantly, they could quickly shift the power balance. This trade could push Atlanta's odds of winning the division from plus 300 all the way to favorites at minus 100, dramatically increasing their chances of a wild card spot or even winning the division outright. It's a bold move, but one that could have lasting repercussions, not just for this season, but for years to come. Now, some might wonder about the Bengals' perspective. Their defense has been a concern, allowing 24 points per game, and their cap situation is tight. Prioritizing Joe Burrow's massive extension and rebuilding the offensive line with a PFF grade of 72. One shows they're thinking long-term. Trading Chase now might be a way to cut losses and focus on developing their younger players, especially with the youth stepping up but not yet ready to fill Chase's shoes. Still, losing a player of Chase's caliber is never easy, and it signals a possible shift towards a more rebuild-oriented mindset in Cincinnati. All in all, this potential trade is a fascinating chess move in the NFL landscape. For the Falcons, it's about seizing an opportunity to become a true offensive threat. For Chase, it's about joining a team with a promising quarterback and a chance to make a real playoff push. For Cincinnati, it's about cap management and rebuilding, even if it means losing a star. The NFL is always unpredictable, and right now, it feels like everything is on the brink of changing in Atlanta's favor. This move, if it happens, would be a statement, one that says the Falcons are serious about competing now and making a serious run for the Super Bowl. Pause here just for a second. If you want, the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you. It's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So Falcons fans, this is the kind of news that can energize a fan base and send shockwaves through the league. The potential addition of Jamar Chase isn't just about upgrading the roster. It's about transforming the identity of this team. Imagine a Falcons offense that's more explosive, more unpredictable, and more capable of putting up points in bunches. It's the kind of move that can turn a team from hopeful to serious contenders in the blink of an eye. The upcoming weeks will be crucial. Will this trade materialize? Will Atlanta pull the trigger on what could be the defining move of their season? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, if it happens, Falcons fans, buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride, and your team just might be on the verge of something truly special. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news.